if you did grades, like grade Jayden Daniels preseason performances, which is the poll, you'd put A, B, C, D, and it only allows 4 choices. So I'd put A, B, C, D, or lower. But I think that's impossible, so I put A, A minus / B plus, B, and then C or lower. And I don't think you can even vote C or lower. Here's the thing with Jayden Daniels' performance. It's not even a negative because he had really good ball placement. Only thing I could say is there was a lot of sideways passes in this game. It was a lot of drop back, plant your foot, release the ball in probably under 2.5 seconds.
Right, but some of that's by design, and some of that's when he's being pressured.
He delivered them right on time. He had one nice run. Now, Dan Quinn said he would have liked him to slide.
And he was yelling at him.
It was fine, in my opinion. It's not like he took like some major hit.
Right.
And it showed you how they're going to have some designed runs because he's going to get first downs on these runs a lot of times if it's blocked well.
I'll tell you who did a great breakdown of him. Chase Daniel put out a breakdown of his performance overnight, I think. I watched it this morning. And it's amazing to watch ex-quarterbacks. I don't care if it's Kurt Warner, who's like in the Hall of Fame, or Dan Orlovsky, or
career backups.
Chase Daniel. The way they break down film and all the things, all of the responsibilities these quarterbacks have is staggering. That's why it's so difficult to play well as a rookie. But he was so complimentary of what Jayden was doing. Jayden's footwork, Jayden making calls at the line of scrimmage, Jayden making the right read. He only had 1 or 2 instances where he maybe quibbled with Jayden's decision-making. But he's raving about him, raving about him. And he didn't do anything extraordinary. But he is super accurate, super smart. You could tell, even though it's just preseason, he just fits right in, right? It's just a natural progression for this guy. And, he did have his first run was one that Chase did criticize, where it probably wasn't the right read. He probably should have just given it to the running back. If you remember, he went left. Only went for like a yard or two, but he also took a big hit there that was kind of under-emphasized. If you watch it on replay, he took a pretty big hit. So he is going to have to be careful. Even though you get hit on that play where he had the nice run where Quinn's saying, get down, get down. We've all seen the car crashes he had in college. He's going to run a lot. He's going to have to get down. He's going to have to protect himself.
It's tough when that's like his instinct.
I know. He's a competitor, no doubt.
That's what he wants to do, and that's what he did in college. And he likes to get out there and run and use his speed.
Polish.
So it's tough to tell him to slide.
His polish with his footwork and just quick release and accuracy is really way better than I ever thought.
Yeah, the ball placement.
Way better than I thought.
The ball placement on the pass to Terry was perfect. Because he threw it to the outside, so corner has no chance there.
Terry made a great move, juke move.
Terry's in the best position to get the yards after the catch, which he did.
Yep.
But again,
also the first throw
passes,
to Diami was to his outside shoulder, and he hesitated there for a second to give Diami the time he needed to get open. I mean, he almost looks wise beyond his years, man.
If you want to chime in on the MGM National Harbor listener lines, 800-636-1067, and you can vote at Junks Radio. I took a couple choices off the board. There's no reason to put D or fail. It's A minus / B plus, B or C or lower. I would give him an A minus. I don't even really know why. Maybe just because I haven't seen enough downfield passing. You saw the one pass to Diami in the first preseason game. You didn't see anything in this preseason game. But you can just see the athleticism. And we knew he had that. I told you last week, I think he's going to run for 800 yards. I think he's going to be up there. Whatever Justin Fields was doing, he's going to be at least Justin Fields. Is he going to be Lamar? I don't know. But I bet he'll be close to what Lamar does.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't bet against him. I'd say between 600 and 800 yards rushing, I see.
Yeah, put it on the board for sure.
Yeah.
That's going to make him a lot more valuable in fantasy drafts, too,
and
as a backup quarterback.
Sure. And
probably not your starter to start the year, but as a backup.
If you want to chime in, 800-636-1067. And the team in general, it's so hard to tell.
Yeah,
they had more guys playing on the offensive line than in week one. They had a couple little penalties.
Wiley.
I was kind of
Wiley
surprised
had
at
two.
the imbalance of the play calling, and maybe it was just by design, but they threw the ball 48 times, only ran the ball 22.
Mm-hmm.
Now, a lot of that has to do with the fact that they were trailing in the fourth quarter. They're trying to win, and Trace is out there, throwing the ball down the field. But I was
Driscoll had a bunch of passes.
Driscoll threw 15. It's kind of surprised there, but again, they didn't have any major injuries.
But the biggest issue, and alluded to it during the teaser, they have to find a kicker. Because Jayden Daniels would have led the team to more points if the kicker could convert his field goals. He's missed 3 in 2 preseason games. You have kickers in the NFL nowadays in 16, 17 games who don't miss 3 field goals in a year.
Yeah.
Guys missed 3 in 2 weeks.
And what's funny is a couple of years ago, I don't know what year it was. Maybe it was 22. He's only been in the league 4 years, I think. But he had a year where he only missed 4 field goals. He was like 31 of 35. And then he got released and then picked up and then released and then picked up. And, man, it's strange to watch because you can tell he's got no confidence.
Yeah.
And
I don't know who's available.
Dan Quinn went over and kind of gave him a pep talk on the sideline, which was nice.
Yeah.
But deep down, Dan Quinn's like, okay, I'm going to be nice to the guy and pump him up, and then I'm going to find another kicker.
Well, you're going to bring in competition. But Dan was emphatic that he had a great practice on Thursday, that he went like 6 for 6, and then in warm-ups he was hitting 60-yarders. So, he's tantalizing him, he's teasing him, but you got to be able to do it when the lights are on. Play the music. I think people should be fired up here because, we should be thrilled about our quarterback. I would give him an A. I'm not giving him an A+, but I would give Jayden an A. I mean, A- A- kind of nitpicking. I would give him an A. Brian Robinson has run better, and I might have to change my opinion on Brian right now. He looks like a different guy to me than the first. Looks like a little lighter on his feet, but carries a heavy load.
Very physical runner.
I think he looks good. They've underutilized Eckler. Maybe they're just hiding him. So I don't know where I stand on him.
I think that's what they're doing.
I'm telling you, Sinnott only had 1 catch. That dude, if he gets up there, he's going to be a star because he catches it and he goes upfield. Like Bates, I like Bates because he's underappreciated, but he's not the athletic guy that Sinnott is. Bates just catches it, pretty much goes down. Sinnott catches it and goes upfield, and he breaks tackles. I'm telling you, they might have something there.
Yeah,
I
would agree.
The receivers,
he's been very impressive. The receivers, we all know about McLaurin, but nobody else did anything that impressive.
Diami showed early. They featured him early, and then you didn't see him anymore. And then McCaffrey had a sighting, and they were playing him all over the place.
I like
It was
McCaffrey's
exciting
first
to see
catch.
that. It was a great.
It was
catch.
a high ball.
Yes, it was a great catch.
But he brought it in.
Yeah. So I like that. Defensively, it happened later in the third and the fourth quarter, but I liked Jamin. Made some plays. Made a play or two, maybe in the second quarter. But I liked his little stuff that he showed there. His first sack in the late in the third quarter. So they're they're trying to give Jamin as many reps as they can.
And Dan went up to him and dapped him up.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, he loved it.
I went back and watched the game. I can't remember the name of the guy who broke like 3 or 4 tackles on a reverse for the Dolphins. But there was one
receiver?
play. I think Jeremy Reeves hit him at first, didn't wrap. And Jamin was right there and just kind of whiffed on that tackle. I didn't think that was a great play by Jamin Davis.
No, I'm not saying it was
the
perfect.
guy went to the left. I don't know if you remember it might have been a receiver. Went to the left. He got hit, and it seemed like there were like 3 guys around him, and then he ended up going all the way back to the right-hand side. Probably ended up with like a 7 or 8 yard gain.
And Quinn made a point of saying this after the game, that they were physical. Like, I think it was Reeves who had a couple kind of big hits. It was later in the game, but just the guys were flying around, and there's an enthusiasm here. I have no idea what they're going to do. If they're going to win 6, 7, 8 games, or I have no idea. But they're going to be a lot more fun to watch.
Here's the thing. I'd rather have Jayden Daniels go 10 for 12, even if it doesn't mean anything. Go 10 for 12 on all these short passes, which was, again, I was impressed with the ball placement. I knock it a little bit because some of them were just, like I used to call RG3 RG screen. Like if you put other quarterbacks in that same position, I think they would have very similar numbers to Jayden Daniels. Jeff Driscoll, if you gave him the same passes All right, let's say maybe he would have been 9 for 12 instead of 10 for 12. But most of those passes were passes a quarterback should make, right? But, man, I'd rather have that than what the Giants are dealing with.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, preseason doesn't mean anything, but you still don't want your quarterback throwing a pick
Daniel
six.
Jones has been around too long to do what he is doing.
Yeah.
Been around too long.
Well, that's why they know deep down that he's not going to last. He might not last the regular season, but he's certainly not going to be there next year, so they're going to have to make another move.
Yeah.
But I would agree. I mean, you want to see the rookie go out there, even though he's not putting up huge numbers, just going out and running an offense, driving the team down the field.
He looks
completing
totally
passes.
comfortable.
They
did
did
that
the
little-
up-tempo. You
They
talked
did a
about
little
it in week
up-tempo,
1.
2-minute drill, essentially, is what it was. It looked
Yep.
like. And, he's very comfortable with that. I'm excited about it. I just want us to get healthy as a whole and, and see all the guys in there, which we haven't seen yet. And we're not going to see until week 1 in all likelihood.
Right.
But I thought a lot of guys made individual plays. And there's going to be, I feel bad. They're going to, the cut down is a week from tomorrow, maybe, I think. And I'm sure they'll bring a bunch of these guys back, but
It'll be the Monday or Tuesday after the
it's just
the
like
third
one
game.
bloodbath now. They don't tease you with several cuts. It's just one big day.
Who are the best kickers available? Because this is a desperate need. I'm sorry. I don't care what the guy does in practice. When Riley Patterson has missed 3 field goals out of 5 attempts in the preseason?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's made a couple.
Look,
but he's missed 3 in 2 weeks.
They're looking at everybody. I don't know who's available. I don't know what guys will get cut. They might have to wait until after next weekend. But I don't know what big-name guys, veterans are available. I saw Randy Bullock was one guy who's possibly available. He used to kick for the Giants. Mm-hmm. But I have no idea. I think most of these guys are in camp.
In a perfect world, you want somebody with experience.
Yes.
In a perfect world.
I don't know, man. Maybe I want a soccer guy like the Cowboys have that's hitting 66-yarders.
Yeah, that was smooth. He kicked that pretty much with ease. You realize how little you have to move the ball if you can convert a 65-yarder, 66-yarder? Barely have to go anywhere.
But it's so weird when you look at certain kickers' stats, and he was 30 of 35 2 years ago, and then all of a sudden he can't make anything.
It's just a confidence
technique
thing. Kickers go through this. I follow this one punter on Instagram. I think he punted Ohio State. He's been cut like 9 times. But, that's how for kickers and punters, that's kind of the life. You just keep getting cut until you get on a hot streak. Somebody keeps you.
But it's definitely an issue.
But I'm surprised that more people we got no one's calling in. People aren't excited about the showing. I mean, they lost. They only scored 6 points, so maybe there's some trepidation there. But there's a lot to be excited about.
I still think a lot of the Jayden Daniels lack of buzz is people just keeping themselves in check, and you've done that to an extent too, where it's like,
for sure,
hey, I don't want to get too excited because we've been down this road too many times. There's too much scar tissue. But man, like I said, you'd rather be in this position where your rookie quarterback is. What is he, 11 for 14, something like that, if you put the stats together?
Pretty high completion percentage.
I guess maybe it's 12 for 15, whatever it is exactly. You'd rather have that than what they've got going on in New York. You'd rather have that than question marks.
Yeah.
100%. I agree.
Now, he could go in week 1.
He could struggle.
And he could be terrible.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to be terrible. I'm sure he'll have bad games, bad moments, but I don't think he's ever just going to – maybe – he's too solid. I'm telling you, watch Chase's breakdown where he breaks down Chase Daniel. I think he did it overnight. I saw it this morning and watched it. He breaks down his footwork, just to the point of even like how far away his feet are, and when he plants and throws, how he hitches when he's supposed to hitch.
His fundamentals are on point.
His fundamentals are phenomenal, and he's reading coverages, and he's directing veterans, and a guy like in his second, 10 minutes of NFL football, he's directing veterans, calling out blitzing linebackers, changing plays at the line of scrimmage, doing things you'd expect vets to do. It's very impressive.
I think mentally he's there.
Yeah, and he's making the right reads by and large. Although that one throw he made to Terry, right, where he kind of threw it out of bounds, and it was like, give Terry a shot or no one's going to get it on the blitz. Chase pointed out that he probably should have taken the right. If you look on the right, I think it was Eckler. If he just throws that screen on the right, Eckler's probably going for a touchdown.
Yeah.
If you see
those things happen. I know, look, the quarterback situation, which I think is getting the most scrutiny in the NFL right now, it's rookies, but then it's also Pittsburgh and Justin Fields. I saw online because there are a ton of guys. I didn't see Chase Daniels' analysis. I saw Orlovsky, who was praising
what did
Jayden Daniels. I can't remember specifically, but it's all glowing. You can't say anything but positive things about Jayden Daniels right now. But there was a Justin Fields play where he definitely predetermined he was going to run. Like, it was a read option. He was like, I'm going to run it. And, he fakes the handoff. And then he runs into like 4 guys. Like, there are 4 guys there.
Right.
And so, there's going to be that where I'm sure he predetermined, hey, if they're coming, I'm going to throw this to Terry. But he threw it in a spot that he couldn't hurt him.
Yeah, it didn't hurt him. But if he did just throw a little out in the flat to Eckler, he might have taken it to the house.
But he might not have had time to go through that read like that.
Yeah, I don't know
his
what
first read's on the left.
I think Chase thought the first read should be on the right.
Right.
Not Terry.
Easy for Chase to say.
Easy for Chase to say. And, Jayden, you saw it in the Hard Knocks thing. Jayden wants to score touchdowns. Jayden's not afraid to take chances.
It's just the anticipation is obviously very high because you want to see how he does over 4 quarters.
Yep.
Not a half a quarter.
Right.